All right, let's talk about something we all deal with every single day. This constant battle for our own attention. We're always up against this endless stream of digital stuff. But what if the secret to a sharper, more creative brain isn't some new productivity app? What if it's actually the one thing we're always trying to escape? Yep, today we're talking about the surprising superpower of boredom.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. You pull down to refresh your feed. What's it gonna be? You just never know, right? It could be a like, it could be a hilarious video, it could be a message from a friend. That total unpredictability, well, that's the exact same hook that makes slot machines so insanely addictive. And social media has absolutely perfected it.
Okay, and this is where so many of us get it wrong. We hear dopamine and we immediately think pleasure. But it's not actually about the feeling of getting the reward. Nope, it's the chemical of anticipation. It's that little voice in your brain that goes, hey, that felt good, let's do that again. So every little ping, every notification, it's a tiny hit that just keeps us coming back for more, creating this ridiculously powerful feedback loop.
And that leads to this really powerful analogy. The smartphone has basically become a digital needle. It delivers that little dopamine fix instantly, whenever we want, wherever we are. It's always right there, in our pocket, ready to help us escape any tiny moment of discomfort or anxiety or, you guessed it, boredom.
So, what's the big deal? Who cares, right? Well, what's the real price we're paying for this non-stop river of digital stimulation? It turns out the consequences, especially for brains that are still growing and developing, are becoming really, really clear. And it's not great.
So get this, the American Academy of Pediatrics, they have some pretty intense guidelines. They recommend less than 2 hours of total screen time a day for kids and teens from 5 to 18. And that's everything. That's school, home, you name it. For most of us, that number probably sounds completely impossible.
And the costs? They're huge. We're seeing our ability to focus just get shattered into a million little pieces. We're seeing more trouble managing our emotions, our sleep is getting all messed up. But here's the kicker. A huge study by the National Institute of Health found that kids who are on screens for more than 7 hours a day actually showed premature thinning of the cerebral cortex. That's the wrinkly outer part of the brain that handles complex stuff like critical thinking. Yikes.
Okay, so that's the bad news. But this is where the whole story flips. What is the very thing we're using our phones to run away from? Boredom is actually the antidote we've been desperately needing.
I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Boredom has such a bad reputation. You hear a kid say, "I'm bored," and it feels like this 5-alarm fire we have to put out immediately, usually by handing them a screen. We see it as a total failure of engagement.
So let's just reframe this whole thing. What if being bored isn't the problem? What if it's actually the starting line for something amazing? What if it's not just okay for our brains to be bored, but actually, totally essential for them to grow? Because here's the crucial idea. When it feels like we're doing nothing, our brain is actually doing some of its most important work. So let's peek under the hood and look at the actual science of why doing nothing is so incredibly powerful. Everybody meet the default mode network, or the DMN. You can kind of think of it as your brain's screensaver. It's this whole network of brain regions that only kicks into gear when you are not focused on something in the outside world. This is what's lighting up when you're daydreaming, when your mind is wandering, when you're just staring out the window bored. Your brain isn't off, it's just firing up its creativity engine.
And check this out. We have proof. For a long time, scientists thought, okay, boredom and creativity seem to happen at the same time. But a recent study found a direct causal link. During a brain surgery, they were able to temporarily switch off this network. The second they did, the patient's ability to be creative just plummeted. This is the evidence. Letting your mind wander literally turns on the part of your brain that generates new ideas.
So this is awesome news. It means there's a way back. We can actually reclaim our focus and our creativity just by intentionally making a little space for our brains to get bored. So let's talk about some real, practical things we can do. For us adults, it can start with something like a digital diet. And you don't have to throw your phone in a lake. Start small. Make the dinner table a tech-free zone. Go into your settings and turn off all those pointless notifications that are constantly grabbing your attention. And find other things that give you that natural dopamine hit. Go for a walk, pick up a guitar, anything that feels good in the real world.
And for kids, the solution is even more simple and honestly way more fun. It's not just about taking away the screens. The real goal is to add back what the screens have been replacing, just good old-fashioned, unstructured playtime.
And it doesn't have to be some big, complicated thing. Remember building a fort with couch cushions? Or just playing I Spy? Or that game where you just try to keep a balloon from hitting the floor? These super simple, screen-free things, they're like push-ups for building a creative, resilient brain.
You know, this might be the single most important idea in this whole thing. We have to change how we react to the feeling of boredom. Instead of treating it like an emergency that we have to fix, what if we just reframed it as an opportunity? Just saying, oh, you're bored? That's okay. Let's see what your brain comes up with. That simple little shift in language is so empowering. It teaches kids, and us, to trust their own minds to find something amazing.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. In this world of just infinite distraction, by filling up every single quiet moment with digital noise, what are we losing? We might be accidentally silencing our own creativity, our ability to solve our own problems, even our ability to just sit and know ourselves. Maybe the most productive thing any of us could do today is to put down the phone and just let ourselves be bored.